Well, howdy, it's Hamid. It's been a rainy weekend, so I've just been hanging out at home, sitting at my new desk, and I thought I'd have a little knife ramble and take you on my history of knives. I watched my father carry a knife every day. He carried this knife. I'm not even sure what it is, but it has 3 blades. Big blade. This looks like some kind of lamb's foot. And 3rd blade. Carbon steel, so there's a nice patina on it, and this has been well used. My father's been gone about 20 years, but I cherish this knife. I don't use it anymore. It just sits on my altar. But knives have always been a part of my life. Growing up, I had a Swiss Army knife. I don't remember the model, but it had a saw, and it had a large and small blade, and a bunch of other stuff. I don't really remember what it had. Then I had a Gerber for a while, a Gerber lockback knife, which I never really connected with. I could never get it quite sharpened. It was probably a very cheap steel. I've had a couple Kershaws, which I liked my Kershaws, but I lost both of them. And for many years, I picked up a Spyderco at the mall after I lost my second Kershaw. And I never really liked Spyderco for my personal knives. This has 8CR13 MOV steel, so it's a fairly budget steel, I think. Liner lock, and I don't know. I think their blades look kind of like a duck. I just don't like that big circle in them. Just not my thing. So this hasn't been used so much, but carried this thing for a lot of years. And many of those years I was a licensed massage therapist, and still am. Started school in 1999, been practicing since 2002. And all this time I've tried to protect my hands and haven't really done a lot with a knife, but I've always felt like I need to have one on me. And a bit over a year ago, I decided I needed to get into knives again. Something about connecting with my Japanese heritage and just having a blade just feels really good. So I've amassed a bit of a curated collection of knives that all have some place in my life. And the knife I started back with is this little guy, the Victorinox Rambler Swiss Army knife. Little 58 millimeter gem that has lived on my keychain this whole time. It has a tiny yet useful little blade. It has an amazing little multi-tool that has a magnetized Phillips head, a wire stripper, and a cap lifter. I use this a lot. On the other side are the infamous Victorinox scissors. And these are really a brilliant little scissors, super sharp, super useful. And since I'm a licensed massage therapist, the nail file comes in really, really handy. And there's also a little flathead screwdriver head there. So this thing lives on my keychain and is so incredibly useful. It also has, of course, the tweezers. Come in very handy at times, and the toothpick, which I had to get myself a pack of about a dozen toothpicks. I lost the original one. It fell out somewhere along the way. Anyways, grab a toothpick again. The next knife I got after that, and we're going to be jumping around, I'm going to try and go in chronological order, was this guy, the Civivi Elementum. Really, really popular knife with a flipper. That's very satisfying. And a liner lock. D2 steel. I really love how elegant this blade is without any billboarding, without any logos on it. Nice Civivi logo built into the pivot. And micarta scales. And it's a good little knife. That's very satisfying to do. But I don't tend to carry this one all that much either. But it's a nice little blade. It's very sharp. All these knives are very sharp. I kept going with my Victorinox craze, and I wanted to get something a little bigger. This is the Victorinox Ranger. In the classic Celador scales, this is a 91 millimeter model. And it has a lot more tools than the little Rambler. Here, we'll put up a little size comparison. Yeah. It has the main blade. Super slicey. And the small blade. That's a great little whittling blade. Next up is, let's see, what's next? There is the file. This one I tend not to use on my fingernails all that often because there's a little metal hacksaw built into this one too. This one's much more aggressive for nails, but get the job done if you're careful. But great to file other things too. And the saw. I love the Victorinox saw. Great for harvesting sticks when I want to find sticks to whittle by the river. Super useful. Next we've got the scissors. This is the larger scissors, and these things are fantastic. Here, let's compare the two scissors since we've got scissors here. Yeah, they're both super, super useful. Really, really great. Love the Victorinox scissors. And I probably use the one in the Rambler more often because it's on my keychain. This is the Swiss Army knife that I often keep in my bum bag, or I sometimes replace my other pocket carry when I go like camping or want to get a little more outdoorsy. This also has the classic can opener with the tiny flathead screwdriver, which it's small enough that you can also use it in Phillips heads screws. And the flathead pry bar, cap opener, bottle cap opener, wire stripper. Pretty classic tools. On the back side, there is, this is always hard to get out. Here's the awl. Great for drilling holes with this, with a little eyelet. Next is the parcel hook, which some debate its usefulness, but can be really great for grabbing a bicycle chain and not getting your mitt so grimed up. And here's a tool which I really rarely use. This is like a, I think it's like a little chisel. And, oh no, it's not the chisel. This is actually the chisel. See, I don't use these tools all that often, but every now and then for my whittling, I find some creative use for that. This also has the corkscrew, which I've outfitted with a tiny little screwdriver and some tinder for fire starting, just in case. And I got one of the Ranger doesn't usually come with this, but I got the pin as well. And the scale tools, of course, there's the tweezers, tweeze. And with this one, instead of the toothpick, I replaced it with a small ferro rod, which is wonderfully effective. So, really, really great knife. And this one goes in my pocket a lot. I've got a little titanium little pocket clip. So it just hangs in the pocket. Yeah, really, really great knife. Let's keep going with the Swiss Army route. This little knife is super, super thin. This is the Victorinox Bantam A-Lox scales. This was my first knife with A-Lox scales. And this one lives in my wallet. This is like a just-in-case knife. 84 millimeters. Has a main blade. And this little multi-tool. This can be used as a screwdriver, cap lifter, wire stripper. Just a few essentials in this tiny little package. I stick it in my wallet and I never even know it's there, but it's there if I ever need it. The Bantam got me loving A-Lox scales, and my next knife, which has become one of my daily carries, is the Victorinox Pioneer X A-Lox. Of course, it's got another one of these titanium pocket clips in it. I love this knife. I just love the feel of it. I love the size of it. A 3-layer. Has the main blade. Got some fingerprints on it. But that is the way of one who has knives. There are fingerprints involved. This is a fantastic blade, a little bit more robust than the 91 millimeter Ranger blade. The A-Lox scales are 93 millimeter. It also has an awl, but a very different kind of awl. I use this a lot for like opening packages, drilling holes. And this has the scissors. That's why it's the Pioneer X, because of the scissors. Oh, so good. Such a good knife. Such good scissors. And then the standard tools that we know and love from Victorinox. Same ones as on the Ranger. I don't know, maybe they're more robust. The A-Lox models seem to be just a little beefier, but I haven't really compared them too closely. This is my daily carry knife. It lives in one of my pockets all the time, unless I go camping, and then I'll swap it out for the Ranger. So let's continue with folding knives before we get into the fixed blades. A while back, I was gifted a friends and family discount, and I went with my buddy Aaron to Benchmade in Oregon City. That's just south of us. And I picked up my first Benchmade knife. This beautiful, beautiful thing. This is the Benchmade Mini Crooked River. S35 VN steel. And I reckon this was my first super steel. Really great locking mechanism with a thumb stud is very, very satisfying. Yeah, love this. I don't carry it around too often these days, but when I do, I feel like I'm carrying something really, really special. That is so much fun to do. Benchmade Mini Crooked River. Beautiful blade. Well, at some point I started getting into fixed blades, and my first big fixed blade was here, all the way from Spain. This is the Joker Lynx. And this is a fantastic bushcraft knife with orange micarta scales. Bowler N 695 steel. And I guess there's orange micarta scales and a black G10 liner. Some jimping. 90-degree spine to strike a ferro rod. Some jimping on the exposed pommel there. And it's quite a robust blade. A little over 4 inches long. Came with a Kydex sheath and a matching ferrocerium rod. And this is when I go on some very all-weather adventures. This knife is going to be robust in whatever situation I encounter. I really liked the Joker knife. The Lynx showed me something very interesting in knives and in fixed blades, that I started falling in love with fixed blades. And my next fixed blade was another Joker. And this is one of their more affordable knives. This is the Joker Pantera with olive wood scales. I also think it's a beautiful, beautiful knife. However, it's not the best steel. It's a very budget steel, MOVA 1.4116 steel. So it's a steel they use often in kitchen knives or surgical tools. Originally was a flat grind, but I convexed it because I just wanted to see if it would help the edge retention. 1.4116 steel is not known for its great edge retention, though it's very tough and very stainless. So it's just a beautiful knife, just a hair under 4 inches, and it's very nimble. And these days I use it more in the kitchen than taking it out in the world, but I really love this knife. I just think it's gorgeous. So it might not necessarily be the most capable, but love batoning with this thing, and it's a really good slicer, but I always have to touch it up after some work. I don't see this very often in Joker knives, but I love the steel shoulders. It's just beautiful with a little leather sheath that I wet formed. Next fixed blade I got, this is another one of my daily carries. This is a small pocket fixed blade from MKM Knives. This was a collaboration with David C. Anderson from Knife Center. This knife is from Italy. It has the lamb's foot blade and my first blade and only blade so far that I have with MagnaCut. And this just slips into my other pocket with a magnetic clasp. Yeah, that's satisfying. I have fairly small hands, and it's kind of a 3.5 finger grip. But I found it to be really useful. I found it to be a really great whittler as well. And there's some jimping here, so you can have some very precise control. It's the first blade of this shape that I've ever been drawn to, but it's just, what a beautiful little knife. Really fantastic. Well, after the Pocket Tango, I wanted to keep exploring knives that were from Italy, so I picked up my first lion steel. This nice leather sheath. I put a dangler on it from Castrum. Yeah, when I want to carry a belt knife, this is generally the one, especially if I'm closer into town. This is the Lion Steel B35. Again, with olive wood scales. The MKM Pocket Tango has olive wood too, in case I missed that. About a 3.5 inch blade, and super slicey. This is actually one of my best whittling knives. It is super slicey. Sleipner steel, so my first time was Sleipner steel, and it's really great. A pretty thin handle, and there's an exposed pommel, and this has a 90-degree spine. Italian knives tend to have crowned spines, but this has a 90-degree sharpness to it, so you can strike a ferro rod with that. Yeah, really great knife. And my newest knife just arrived this week, and it's a budget banger. I think I paid $22 and change from it. This little guy is from BPS Knives in Ukraine, and I sure do want to support the folks in Ukraine because they are going through a time. This is the BPS Fin Light. Tiny knife, about a 3-inch blade. This is my first carbon steel blade, not counting my father's pocket knife. And it's also my first Scandinavian grind. I haven't really tried this out yet, but I think it's going to be a heck of a whittler. It's just slightly rough in the hands. It feels like pretty unfinished wood, but I think it's going to be super slicey and fun. And I'd like to get like an ulti clip for it to pocket carry this. So if I'm getting more outdoorsy, I probably might leave this behind. This is kind of a city knife. If I get really outdoorsy, I want knives that have 90-degree spines so I can strike a ferro rod. That's just something, some peace of mind I want to have when I'm going out camping or backpacking. And the other knife I got quite recently was my first Leatherman. This is the Leatherman Skeletool CX. I haven't really bonded with this. I thought it was something different. I like the colors. Highly visible, which is great because my eyes don't see as well as they used to in the dark. This does have a blade in it. A little blade. Kind of reminds me of a Spyderco in a way. With 154 cm steel. And there's a liner lock. But and if you pull it apart, there are some really great pliers with a wire cutter. There's also, let's see, this I believe can be used as a bottle cap opener and a carabiner. You can hang it from backpack or something. There's also a screwdriver tool with this, and you can release it here and it comes out and you can flip it around, and it's slightly smaller. And on this other side here, you can, let's see, what's the best way to get this thing out? There is another bit here. Just a little hard to get out, but that's all right. And there's a kind of a lock here. And this has your Phillips head, a couple different Phillips head screwdrivers. So picking up. And the other side. So, and this just fits. Oh, I'm still learning my way out of around the Leatherman. I am obviously much more of a Swiss Army knife guy, but this goes back here. There we go. I wanted this because I'm a musician and at gigs, at practices, every now and then, microphone screw-on adapter kind of gets stuck in the mic clip, and I just thought, well, when I go to a show, I can have a pair of pliers on me and remedy such problems. Well, those are my knives. Thanks for joining me on this really long-winded ramble. I'll show some B-roll here and take you out with a little music. Thanks for watching. Happy carving.